Number 9. You're opening the door. And 10. The door is open. The tunnel disappears. And you are now in this environment. Where are you now?
I am standing on a rock or a cliff, overseeing a valley, very green and beautiful.
Ah, very nice. Very, very nice.
A big herds of animals moving through the valley.
Ah, huge herd of animals moving through the valley.
Yes.
Excellent. And I want you to just look down at your feet.
Yeah.
And what do your feet look like?
They are very thin and and graceful in a way, but I don't have. I'm standing in some kind of light, so I can't really make out the whole of my feet.
So tell me again where you are. Once again, all the way from the beginning. You said a valley, oh, on a rock.
I'm
Just a,
standing on a rock or a cliff or something like that, overseeing a lush valley with animals moving through, big herds of animals.
oh,
It
very.
almost seems like buffalo, but it it ain't buffaloes. It's something else.
And if you say you look down at your feet, and what do your feet look like again?
It looks like I'm barefooted, but I can't really make out of the contours. It looks like I don't have any toes.
Oh, very interesting. And I want you to feel your body, or feel, how do you feel?
Very thin, very agile and athletic.
Well, athletic. And look at your hands. What do they look like?
Uh, I have I have only 4 fingers.
4 fingers. And describe your fingers, please.
They are long and thin, and there's only one joint on each finger.
Is it in the very middle? Or
Yeah,
at,
yes, in the middle. They are very long, but I can move them almost like I have more joints than I can see. They are very soft.
oh, very good. And I want, do you have any garments on?
A white robe of some
Uh,
kind.
Very nice. And go ahead and touch your face and just feel, tell me, what does it feel like?
I have no facial hair. It's very smooth skin, but also feel like it's been subjected to a lot of sunshine. I
Repeat.
I can it's feel little it's soft but also been under a lot of sunshine. I have no hair. I'm bald.
Oh, very good. And then feel the features of your face. What do they feel like?
I have a very small nose. I have rather thin lips. And my eyes feel a little bigger than normal. but not that big. But I feel I'm not alone here.
Ah, very good. And I want you to go ahead and slowly turn around and see who else may be possibly with you.
Yeah, there's a lady standing there smiling at me.
Ah, very nice. And you say she's a lady. Does she look human?
No, she's very beautiful. Look, more like angelic.
Ah, very nice. And I'd like you to go ahead and greet her then, please.
Yeah, she grabbed my arms. She have same fingers that I have. I reached for her with my hand, but she grabbed my lower part of my arm. It feels very nice.
And she stops you from touching her, or
No,
what's?
it's her way of saying hello or greeting me.
Ah, very good. And ask her, well, you may ask her, who is she?
She said that you will call her a Pleiadian
Ah, very
or
good.
Pleiadi.
Okay.
She is here to show. Ah, now she helped me to see much better.
Very nice. So what is she showing you? What do you see now?
She's showing that it's so important for us to reconnect with the nature, to spend more time in the nature, and to feel the vibration of the Mother Earth. We need to get closer to the creation, original creation on this planet. We are so much in a, she said cocoon, I don't know, cocoon.
Being inside the house, working with electronic and technical gadgets.
Mm. She said that it's necessary for you also, but you are you are not connected to the nature in the right way anymore. You need to get out more. Just go out in the forest, feel the energy flowing through everything living, and see the obvious thing that we are all connected. Every living thing is all connected. And it's important for us to go out there and feel that. Oh.
Under what else is she presenting to you as well?
She's holding something in her hand. It's like a little sphere or little glass marble or something. I don't can make it out really.
Is she presenting it to you
She's holding it in front of me, yes.
as if she's trying to give it to you to hold or to look at yourself?
She wants me to look into that.
Well, go ahead and take the device and take a look and see what your impression is once you have it.
Oh, I can see other planets in this. And it shows that we are all brothers and sisters. And she say you have to remember that you all came from the same energy place. You're all connected and will always be. Oh, it's lovely. It's like an old universe in there. Oh, and I also see a lot of colors everywhere.
Are the colors inside the device that you're looking at?
Yeah, but it's also beaming out from it. It's spreading around this gadget, this object. It's
Where
spreading.
while you're holding it, if you could just ask, did her people develop this technology that you're holding?
No, it come from somewhere long time ago. But they are. Oh, she says I can travel with it.
Ah, very good. We're gonna do some traveling. Let's just get a little more information first, then, please.
Yes.
Does she know what you're doing right now?
She know the intention, yes.
Does she understand that you're, uh, I say, bilocating from Earth?
Yes.
And I want you to inquire about your form, the form that you've taken. Is that the form of the environment that you're in?
No, it's the form from the environment uh, 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 that I came from the beginning.
And what form is that? You say you have four fingers and you're smooth. You're actually wearing garments. Just curious.
I came from a line of technicians that are on a mission to spread knowledge, to help lower densities to get access to this technology.
So this is the device that you're actually working on with Myra. Is this the end? What the product will be?
It's a part of it, yes, but there's much more that I'm not aware of for the moment. But we work in teams. We can be very many in a team working with the same intent and and with the same.
And why is she showing you this particular device?
She's showing it to explain for us humans there there is so much more that we don't understand yet, but we are going to get information and knowledge about in the future. They're showing it for education and that we can not be held back by anything if we choose to go forward. And it's totally up to the human race where we want to go. And we are going to get some more technology, but this technology is so different from our technology. It's not made of it's not made of metal or it's not that kind of machines. It's more that programmed they program the energy of that things They can make they can make stone and wood and anything into useful useful tools for us to use in the future. They're programming its innermost small parts, the quantum parts in everything is programmable.
And this is what you're receiving from Myra that you're working with then?
She's telling me this. And yes, that's part of it. And
Amazing.
I'm working with that every single day, she say. But I'm not alone. There are thousands of from our density in this timeline that are doing this work. And we are transported from place to place to pick up the original blueprints of how this is done. They're showing us from the beginning and through the development of all of this knowledge. It's been going on for thousands of years, but they condense it for us to be able to understand it.
That's a pretty massive project then. You were asking before we began what the timeline looks like for the presentation of this type of high advanced technology.
She said, yes, I know that. Yeah. And we are talking about an accelerating rate of knowledge that is going to be accessible for the humans on this planet and elsewhere in this galaxy that are still in a very dense density. So there is a lot of work going on all over this galaxy we live in.
And you said the word was accessible then? That it would be
It's
accessible.
going to be accessible in a more accelerating rate.
Understood. I just wanted to clarify.
Yes. That is our wish to bring this to you and help you with this. But you also will have to be responsible enough to use it in the right way and not for anything bad purpose, because you are playing under the role of the universal and divine law. So if we're not responsible enough to handle this technology, they are not going to reveal it for us.
Well, how much longer will our vibration on the planet Earth be so low that we're under the impression that as the vibration rises on the planet Earth, that negative thoughts and negative intentions will start begin to dissipate. Is this true, or will the probability for the negativity always exist on the Earth?
No, this is absolutely true, but you have to remember that you are under the free will to do and to go and to use your energy in the way you would like to. But
So,
more and more of you is going to be enlightened because of the raising of the frequency. You will be more aware of what is important. Your monetary system is going to fade away in the future, and you will get access to more and more of this technology, and also access to communicate to vast distances to the like of yours.
so even if the vibration rises, and because we have free will, there will be a probability of negativity
there's a possibility of negativity, but we can't see that this will linger on for a longer time period. And we are talking about accelerating in your timeline during 10 years from 2012. 10 years from 2012. What we in 2016? Okay, it started. She say it started 2012. This knowledge transferring between our different societies over this in this solar system.
Understood. So
And
there,
it will be revealed in small doses in the way that we can accept that this is something that really exists. It's still very difficult for many of you to understand this. And still some of you will use it for your own benefit, and that will be totally wrong because it's for all of you, not for just an elite. And that's why it's taking a little longer time, because we are going to erase that limitations of thinking, that egoistic way of thinking, that will be erased by your own frequency raising developments.
very good. Understood. That is understood. So that's a natural occurrence then because it's meant. Is it meant?
Yes, it is. It's what you have decided to do.
That's collectively.
Yes,
And subconsciously, we've collectively and decided this. Is this correct?
that is correct.
But there are those who have consciously made the decision. And the more who consciously make the decision, does it help accelerate this timeline?
It makes them coming closer to the truth, yes.
Very good.
They will not be deceived by any messages that are trying to put a stop for the development, because they already know within them that they have the knowledge and will soon be able to access it in a totally different way than you are able to do now.
And she says that she's from the Pleiades. This particular space where you're having this communication and this beautiful, on this the side of this hill or mountain, and you see the beautiful scenery out above you or around you. Where are you located now? Are you in another dimension or on another planet? Where have you traveled to have this interaction with this entity?
I'm on a planet with a higher vibration. It's
And
in
is
a totally different solar system, but in our galaxy.
excellent. So there are many civilizations, positive, high vibrational civilizations that are they focusing on the planet Earth and assisting with this process?
Many are, yes, but they are also showing us this, that it is possible for us to pass this bad energy of fear mongering and starting war and just handle this aggression to each other, because they have passed that for a long time ago. Because if we still going on like that, we are going to destroy ourselves and will not be able to go to this transition. So that they are helping with this to clear it for you, that your system is so corrupted for the moment in many areas, the military and the corrupted businesses and politicians. They are helping to they praying for you and sending out energy to clear their minds that they are not going to be allowed to let this going on this planet.
We were told that there was, that there was a very positive faction of the military that is working for the benefit of the people, um, as well as a negative. Is that true?
There is group in the military area that is getting enlightened in a different way and where that they ever have been before. So yes, that is true, but they are still in a minority, and the military is so steered and controlled by fear. And as we have put forward so many times for you before, that fear is the most destructive energy there is the opposite of love. So they waking up, and many in the military is also.
Because this is a free will zone, to what extent can extra dimensionals and extraterrestrials uh, assist with this process? Has this been decreed by Prime Creator that there must be a change on the planet Earth?
They will step in and stop you from using mass destruction weapons. They will disable all your nuclear weapons. They will disable all use of mass destruction. Mass destruction. And that's a big part of the help you're getting right now. And it's up for you. It's up in the news for your media that this is going on, and more are aware of it, but they can't really. Many of you can't believe it, but that's true. You are getting help with this. So the from the big cabal of this war. Wait.
Take a long, slow, deep breath. Feel your vibration rise and your understanding increase.
She's talking of fractions of military, and so it's so different in so very many countries, not the same in the military in Europe and Asia as it is in Americas, South and North. It's a very different way they are thinking, but they are starting to waking up, and it's from something you self-decided for a long time to go through this development and to explore more of your good energy. So many of you is getting so tired of being controlled. And when you get this feeling, you are going to get help from us.
Very good. And of course, there are plenty of ground crew, so to speak, who have taken physical bodies on the planet to help with this process.
You are one of them, you are aware of that. And yes, there is many thousands of you that have decided this a long time ago. And it's now this strands of your DNA is now activated by your thoughts, by your intent, and you're also getting help to higher that vibration that is needed to activate that strands of your DNA. That's
So
what many different entity is working with now spreading this like it's like a veil over the planet of good energy that activates your DNA, and then you're starting to think in a total different way, and you're leaving all this fear and hatreds behind you.
So has Hank and Lars's DNA been activated to a high degree, or
There surely is, yes.
which
That
is
you are activated, and you have activated yourself several thousand years ago, but when you come into this realm, you have forgotten because you started over again, but you have been so much closer in touch with that intent. So therefore, you are now doing this work together, and for for each of you doing different kind of work also. And there are many thousand on this planet doing this.
very good. How with our DNA activated and our vibration, which in it then it at once the DNA is activated, it then raises our vibration and our abilities. Uh, does it allow any lower vibrations to infiltrate uh,
No, it
this?
will not, because when you are raising up and your DNA is activated, your intuition is also very much sharpening, and you know when you are told the truth, or you know when you are lied to, but you also have to do some work to trust your intuition, and that is your higher self talking to you. If you listen to your intuition, as you call it, we call it something different, but we can call it intuition. It's the way for your higher self to communicate with in this density uh, with your with your inner understanding, and you know when someone is lying. Just trust it, and that you have to make some more effort to do. And we understand that it's not always that easy, because you are influenced in from so many ways, from media, from different interest groups, from debunkers, and some black ops still going on. So it's not so easy always to understand what is the truth. We are aware of that.
I wonder how is it that they've been able to have so much control over this planet?
For a very long time, many of you gave up because you couldn't see the purpose of put this energy into work, and you couldn't understand its relevance for your life. So you can say that many of you gave up before you even started. Then you are treated like a flock of sheep. But it's time to change that now, and it's going on.
Ah, very good. That's understood, and we appreciate this message as well. Um, Now, the planet itself, is it traveling through an area in space that is holding a really high vibration, which is also naturally helping the planet as well in this transition?
In a way, it does. In a way, it's influenced by the place your solar system is in the alignment with the center of the galaxy. So yes, you're going through a high vibration. That's why your planet also is reacting to this by maybe sometimes more volcanoes and hurricanes going on, because it's a very, very powerful energy.
It's interesting. I had a list of questions about that. Is that just since you brought it up just now, the same thing as with the sinkholes that are showing up? Is the planet actually expanding? Is it getting bigger?
Yes, it is, because the tectonic plates is moving more rapidly than it usually do, and when they're moving apart, that can create these sinkholes and also earthquakes. But we're trying to see to that you are not harmed.
And
But you
when you
are also getting the message when it's going to happen, so you have to be aware and listen to that.
and so basically we may have to move our location when we get that information. Is that
Not in the masses, but in the smaller groups, yes.
understood? And so, and when you say we're helping with that, so that you're speaking of, like, we see light ships all over the planet, they're being filmed everywhere. Uh,
Yes,
are those light ships are from some of the other civilizations?
yes, and from other dimensions. They try to manifest in a bigger way because you need to see to believe.
Absolutely. And so as the vibrate now as we're traveling through this area in the alignment of the central sun, uh, you say it's increasing the vibration. This vibration will never lower again, will it ever?
No, it's not possible to go backwards in this.
So we're going to just keep evolving and evolving to higher states of consciousness then.
Yes, but you have to be aware it in different timelines it's going in different rates. So it's not always in this high rate that's going on now. Sometimes it's taking longer time for doing some changes.
Well,
And
we
that,
hear
and
we
that's depending of where you are in the universe for the moment.
And right now, this particular planet, like you said, is in an area that's traveling uh, in the sights of or the in alignment of the central sun. Um, so, how this planet will, this system, this entire solar system is traveling through this. How long will we travel through this, be in this alignment in terms of our linear time frame? I was told eight. I was told 18 years, not in a session, but from a channeled message.
This higher this higher frequency of change, this higher rate of change will be about 18, 20 years, yes. But you will be in this transformation for 68,000 years.
Oh, very good.
And sometime it's going to be slow, and sometime it's going to be fast.
It seems to be going rather rapid to many and very slow to others at the exact same time.
It does. Everyone that are afraid to let go of old values and so is just making it harder for themselves. But we're sending love to them also. And you should all do. You can
Absolutely.
do it in your all day, everyday life, in
Yes.
small portions.
That we are for sure. Well, I am.
And that's it's like, I think you say, sending forward. That if you gave a message to one, then soon thousand will be affected from it.
Sending it and holding the high vibration in our heart.
Yeah,
Um, okay.
that is necessary for you to do.
Understood. And is there, well, we've been told also that there is a group, and we spoke about this 2 days ago in a session, that has been making sure that that energy that's coming from the central sun is not affecting the planet too fast because it would possibly harm those who haven't uh, awakened to this bigger picture, or and their vibration is not as high as others because of their unacknowledgement or recognition or remembrance. Is this true that there is a, a sphere entities that are buffeting this energy to help?
Yes, that's absolutely true, but they also are protecting you from the changes your sun is going through.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not only from inside or on this planet, because the changes is going on in the total planetary system in your solar system. It's not only your planet. Every planet in this system is going through a change.
Yes, that's been said. I always just speak in okay, understood. Uh,
And yes, you are protected and helped. That's is monitored from a very high frequency beings that are very, very, very old. They are holding their hands over this transition, so to speak, like a shield, but that is on an energetic plane.
yes, I hear that there's many of them that have moved into the galaxy, and they're in particular around our sun. I think I caught pictures of them at one time. It, is that true that there's a picture I have and you see these huge orbs? And I'm thinking, is that a lens flare? Because something said go outside and take a picture. Um,
It can most certainly be so, yes,
okay.
because it's the higher you vibrate, the closer are you to see what's really going on. So yes, it's most plausible that that is the fact.
And those same beings that actually have shown up on my videos and several videos, the little orbs, they can be any size that they desire. Those are individual entities, or are they collectives, those orbs?
It can be both, but the ones you are connected with often is from the same uh, is from the same energy level that you are working with for the moment, and from the same councils you're working with. They are there to enforce your energy to be able to keep on doing this work you are doing. But you also have to be aware that you're sending out energy, and they can also be perceived as you say, orbs. They come from your inner self.
I know I do a visualization. I'm blowing up, and the energy from my heart is going to the outer ends of the universe and back to me again. Is that effective at all, or is that
Absolutely.
okay?
Every intention you you have to think of very closely what you put out in terms of words, thoughts, because everything is affecting everything else. You're creating this reality for yourself by your thoughts. So yes, you're helping in very much so to raise the knowledge and the awareness of what's going on. And that's we are particularly grateful for.
Excellent. Well, that's my intention, and Lars as well. I'm sure you're speaking of both of us, correct?
Yes, and thousands of others, light beings, as you call them, we call them enlightened beings that are working in the same frequency area and the same intention, that's spreading love, and understand that it's only one and powerful energy, and that is the true love.
Very good. That's why we record these so they can get that message in real time that there is a support system out there that loves them and that is supporting them, and to not to feel the fear and let it overwhelm them and stop them from their mission. A lot of times when people are in fear, they're embarrassed to speak about it, and they just hold it within. And so it's I think it's we believe it's important to share right now more than ever.
Yes, it is, because so much is going on, and it can be very confusing for many of you. But you, even, even when you feel very sad, you should be very aware of that you are never alone. Never alone.
And even in terms of sharing, not trying to force anyone to change their mind, but more like planting a seed and being an example. Um, I know I have one friend who gets very upset when he starts talking to people, and I say, well, just say it. It's been said, the seed has been planted, and at the right time, it'll bloom on its own. You can't get angry if they don't understand or in that moment. But I think is that a
No, that is the wrong intention behind it in that case. If you feel like that you're getting angry when the message is not acknowledged directly, it's your ego that talking to you that you want a response back for boost yourself. But then you have told it in a wrong uh, intention. But
under
just as you said, plant the seed, and the seed will grow, and it will grow into fruits that then plants thousands of seeds that will grow, and that will, and so it goes on. So plant the seeds. It's the only thing you can do, and stand your grounds and listen to your intuition.
That's what we do when we post these videos. We talk about it afterwards, we talk beforehand. We like this particular video, when we decided to make this and to have the session, we had a desire to clarify some of the things that we had said before. And just sort of intuitively, instinctively, you've given such amazing information that we totally appreciate, because you've clarified a lot of things without me even having to ask, uh, which is a very good thing. And we're very happy. Thank you. Thank you.
That's why we are here communicating with you, because we want this to be spread to as many as possible, but you can't enforce it on anyone. They have to absorb it by free will. You're living in a free will society and environment.
Well, I believe the listeners are receiving this. And man, like I said, we're extremely thankful. There was some clarifications that we had a desire to make. Are you the one who we may uh, inquire about these clarifications? Um,
They talking through me, yes.
Very good. One of the first clarifications, well, you've clarified a few things already. I won't even have to ask those, because we were speaking about entities that live here on the planet. And I'll take this slow and so I can be clear, um, that we're on bases, and bases underground. Now, when we spoke beforehand, Lars and I were speaking, and he was saying that there's negative extraterrestrials that may doesn't have any influence on us. But our clarification was, uh, are their bases underground? We don't care if they're negative or positive, but extraterrestrial bases on Gaia, on the planet Earth, and then we'll ask more questions to clarify. So just in case, because Okay, so that is the first question, and it'll make sense when I ask the rest of the questions why I'm inquiring about if there are any, and the first one is, are any negative extraterrestrial bases on the planet Earth at this time?
No, there is not. There is not any secret bases. The only bases that still cooperated with entities from outer space is your military bases. And
Okay,
sometimes, yes, they can be underground, but you are fully aware of them. So there is no secret societies or hidden agenda that is in effect now,
okay. When you say
neither positive or negative.
Okay, so when you say we're familiar with, yes, Hank may be familiar, and Lars may be familiar, and lots of light workers are familiar, but what about those people who aren't familiar? That's why I'm asking this. So you say,
When we say we or you, we mean your military and your elite are very much aware of where they are, and but their influences is almost until nothing, because they have already given all the knowledge they have to give or can give to your elite and military. It's been going on for decades.
okay, understood. Now, with that being said, so are they still here on the planet, or have they been removed from the planet? And I'm just talking about the negative entities, or either dimensional or extraterrestrials. Are they still literally here, regardless if they have any influence whatsoever or not?
Some small groups are coming and going all the time, but that doesn't matter because they cannot influence anything more.
Uh,
So they are not living here in that sense that they have bases or anything. They come into your military grounds, communicate, and try to make deals where they're not especially successful in doing, and then they leave.
okay, so with that said, it leads to another question. We are being told that there is a shield or a field that of stopping any extraterrestrials from coming in or out of this solar system to have is there a quarantine on this galaxy or this solar system where they can't, now you just said they've been coming in and out, is there, we're being told that no one can enter and no one can exit, is that truth, or is that any validity in that? I don't want to call it say truth.
That is
Validity.
false. They
Ah,
can penetrate because they're coming from a different frequency and manifest when they are already here. You can't shield for every frequency because they can change frequency whenever they want. So the
ah,
ships you are seeing is sometimes a living being. It's not in metal or in aluminum or anything like that. It's
yes.
manifest when it come into this reality for you to be able to see. They can also decide to stay hidden for your
So,
eyes not to receive what's up there in the sky.
excellent. So, with that being said, is what is the purpose for them telling us that there is this place is quarantined and no one can get in and out? Why do they say that to us? Why are they putting that out to us? What is the purpose behind that, from your perspective?
Uh, we are not really sure what it should benefit anyone to say that. I don't think it's a common knowledge throughout your planet. It's just coming from small groups that are putting out anything to make themselves knowledged, acknowledged. So
and and other I and so they're actually, that particular type of information is uh, affecting positive groups as well, and they're putting that information out there as well? Have
It makes many of you confused, and that's is not so good. Because when you are busy thinking about is this is this the truth or is it a lie, you are not developing. So if you go with your intuition, you will know what is true, and you have to practice on this. Listen to your inner self. I don't think there is any being on this earth that not once had have a hunch of their higher self talking to them.
well,
Everyone have this ability to access the intuition. And if you listen to that, you know it's just fear mongering going on.
understood. Well, the reason why I say this, because a lot of the fear mongering that's going on, there's truth mixed with deception. So, um, and I mean, and that's where the confusing part, because we just were speaking about the spheres, those entities that are here and that have been helping and protecting us from the sun. Where that part is true, they say that particular group was the group that put the whole solar system into a quarantine and not allowing anyone in and out. And so, do you understand what I mean by part of it'll be true, saying yes, they're here to help and they're because you said it yourself that they're uh, protecting us from the sun uh, with some of the energy that's coming off the sun, and at the exact same time, they're also saying that they've quarantined the whole area. So thank you for clarifying.
You, some of you talking about everything in these matters like it's some kind of border you have to protect. There is no border. It's flowing freely through all the universe and have always been. There is no shield or anything that can use to protect from a thought. Your thought can travel wherever you want and as quick as you want.
Well, I'm talking about uh, they said the shield was keeping negative extraterrestrials from coming in and influencing or in and out of until there's been a change on the planet. They're calling
You
it
are
advanced.
protected, but not by a shield. You are protected by an agreement, on a universal agreement, as you can say, some kind of galactic federation, if you can call it like that have agreed to protect the solar system from being attacked from anything. But that's because you cannot break the rule of the universal law and the divine law.
Which is free will. I mean, in this particular universe, is this a free will universe?
Yeah, yes, but that's all over the universe, not only on this planet. There always been a free will, but some of you have decided to not go through any changes because of you are afraid. Many of you are afraid for any changes at all. But you talk very much in your countries and the country around you, talking in the terms of protect all the time, like you need to have border control. It's not working in that way in the universe. You can't protect from energies. You can't stop energy from coming.
I love that. Thank you. I mean, that's huge. I mean, this is huge what you're saying. It really is because there are a lot of people who absolutely believe that. They really do believe it. And then there's so many others who have had seem to have had so much respect for that are jumping on the same bandwagon and believing it as well. And I'm like, are you well, okay, thank you.
You should start to listen to the original beings from your country. They are thinking in a total different way and have been doing this for decades and thousands of years. So if you listen to their knowledge and their understanding and their way to look at that you are on a Mother Earth, it's it's literally your Mother Earth, and you have to respect it in any way. You can't make force, you can't make harm to benefit a few. That will we have to set stop for really soon. And we're doing so by making your nuclear weapon not functioning anymore. No matter what you do, you can never do violence in that way anymore.
Excellent. I appreciate this message, and I'm sure a lot of people are very appreciative to hear this because some of what you would call some of the most respectable channels and people who are putting information out there are saying and believing these things, and they're repeating these things, and so I'm just glad that we have this opportunity to access this. So in terms of the positive extraterrestrials that are helping the planet, how, and I know we always ask questions about numbers and dates, but uh, how many different civilizations are helping extraterrestrial and extra dimensional that are helping with this transition that the planet is going through? Would you say thousands or millions?
Little more than 6,000 is now present in your area.
6,000 different individual groups of entities?
Individuals and groups of entity working for the same conclusion and for the same reason, yes.
Beautiful. And these are positive, of course. Now, here's another question, just because you clarified that. We hear there are millions of cloaked ships around the planet with holding these 6,000 different types of civilizations and entities. Are there millions of cloaked ships around the planet right now uh, watching and sending us love? And when I say ships, you understand what I mean by
There are millions of entities sending positive enforcement to you because they are aware of what is going on and what kind of struggle it can be. So, yes, you are by thought and positive energy being enforced. There are many, many ships, as you say, in the close area of your solar system, but there is not millions of ships around one planet.
no, very good. In its proximity. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. And on the actual planet, underwater, we were speaking about underwater bases of extraterrestrials, and not. I don't think the dimensional would need to be underwater, or but under extraterrestrials, positive extraterrestrials. They have bases on the planet under the oceans.
No, not only if you bring them there by your submarines to
Okay,
your uh, own bases. You have your own bases on
underwater. Underwater.
yes, and in mountains, and you are aware of some of them. And the higher elite of your military have secret bases, but there is no entities there. They should not be there or is not invited there.
Ah, very good. And so, what about, we asked this before, but like I said, when we decided to do this session today, we had a desire, I'll state again, for clarifications. Um,
Nor bases of any kind is lingering in your planet anymore, not underwater, not under Earth. There is not that anymore.
And when you say that, you mean in terms of extraterrestrials, negative or positive?
Extraterrestrial being able to control anything at all. They are not there.
Okay, very good. Now, what about what we call, and I know I'm just clarifying because you're making this very clear and we're very happy. No jokes, and that makes me very happy also. Um,
And you have to be aware of course, this fleet of help that is coming to you has some time to gather on your planet to plan and to put plans in action, and they need to be able sometimes to be in direct contact so they can have places where they're gathering in caves or in case in some mountains. They can go in there, gathering, planning together, and then leave for the task to be worked on.
that very good. That thank you. I appreciate that. So that it leads in two directions. Uh, I'll ask this one first. Um, Whenever this is in one direction, whenever you see on the videos of these ships, a lot of times you see them in thunderstorms, and you also see them around volcanoes. Are the ones that are around the thunderstorms, what are they doing when you see these ships, sometimes massive ships, that you are catching
They
on
are
video?
trying to control the impact of that disaster so it will not take that bad turn or turn for the worse. They are trying to help to control that.
So when you see them fly through an explosion on a volcano, have they just affected that volcano in a positive way? Um,
For you, positive, not for the volcano.
oh, okay, very good. Okay, and when they're lingering around the storms, the massive storms that we see them in, what's going on in those scenarios?
Some of the ships is depending of refuel energy, and they can use thunderstorms to just do that, renew their energy for the ships. But they are not so high vibrating ships and not from so high vibration, and they are not interdimensional ships. They are physical ships. They need to be enforced, and they use thunderstorm lightning to do that.
That is excellent answer. Thank you so much. So that means there are interdimensionals that are traveling, and then so that means those extraterrestrial ships are from somewhere here in this particular galaxy, then, or closer to the Earth.
Yes, from this galaxy, yes.
And this type of thing that's going on the Earth, it's going on throughout this entire universe at this time on all low vibrational planets.
Not all over the total galaxy, but in many places at the same time, yes.
Are there planets that are similar to the Earth and how the what's going on the planet Earth on other planets in the galaxy?
There's many planets in the same density where you are for the moment, and there is planets in even lower density or in, to speak, higher density that they are not going to be able to break free from without help from us. And we
And
are trying to assist with this now when we are assisted by the where you are placed in the universe for the moment.
so, do these other planets have uh, elites and cabals and syndicates the same way the planet Earth has them that have been basically really gritty people who are taking advantage of everyone else?
Not in the exact same way, because your species are a rather violent species,
Okay.
but they are also being controlled by elites, but not always by the same means.
Yeah, this we seem to be extremely violent. Where does that come from? What does that the violence on planet Earth? What does that stem from? It's pretty horrendous.
It stems from where a few started to, with different kind of powers, controlling the masses. And when the masses tried to fight back, you activated these strands of DNA in yourself that are built in for fight or flight. But you're now getting control over that yourself. So the need of conflict, the need of war is not going to be there for so long time.
Oh, very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
You
Thank
also need to be aware that it's a different agenda from every country on this planet. The, the elites think so differently. The cabal is shown up in so many different ways. In your country, there is a lot of fear going on. The elite is putting out that you are under attack all the time. There is terrorist attacks, and the only time you've ever been attacked was that time in your big city. Your country has never been attacked, but even then you have the biggest military force in the world to protect from nothing that have ever attacked you.
so. Like you're in the big city. You meant when the buildings, the 9/11, when the Twin Towers and the building number 7, that
Yes,
attack.
yes, and that was not even during the right attention that that happened, because that was from the inside, not from the outside.
And what was the purpose behind that? Well, it's almost we absolutely already know, but just from your perspective, the purpose of that, just to promote more fear, and to enact certain laws or what have you that were.
Exactly, it was put in action because it gave a mean to keep on controlling the masses by fear. If you all time go and look behind your back, if someone is going to attack you, you can't look forward to anything. You're just prepared to defend yourself, and you are not attacked. You are attacking yourself.
Understood. Wow, this has been extremely enlightening. How, say, for instance, with this information that Lars and I are presenting with these sessions, does it put us in danger in any way from presenting this information?
You have to be aware of the response you get from this work you're doing, and be very aware where you put your energy. But you are not going to be, you are protected.
Well, because I mean, I figure when you say that, my first thought is we're doing this in the name of love, and so many people love this, so it creates. I would say, is it true that love is more powerful than any fear or any negative energy? Is that correct?
Yes, and we would like to put a thought into your mind. What is the worst thing that can happen to you? Many of you will say, I can die. So we say, who do not die on your planet? You are all equal there. No one will ever survive life. So think of what you can do with the time you have to spend here. The most fearful thing should be, oh, I'm not able to love anymore.
Well, that's understood. Well, the so that brings up another question, of course, with myself. In these sessions, we've been informed that, in, say, for instance, Lars and myself, and like all the people who are waking up and becoming aware and whose DNA is activating, that our life could be extended well beyond the norm than if as we go through this transition. Not that, and I already know we don't, so eventually, even if we did live for 200 years, eventually we would decide at one point that we want to focus somewhere else. Then we would relinquish the physical body, which means it would then just die, and we wouldn't die, but the body would die, and we could focus elsewhere. Uh, do you get where what I'm trying to say? Does that make any sense to you?
Absolutely. And you have already decided that kind of work you want to do long before you were rooted here on this planet.
So he and I.
And and you all have the ability to decide how long you want to linger here, but you have also to be aware that you have not signed, but we can call it signed, a contract of your work during this time on this planet. But you can still keep on doing this forever and ever if you want to.
I don't think pretty much light workers have a worry, really a worried, especially myself and Lars. We're not worried about dying, but how could we be affected? Even though as temporarily as life may seem to be from your perspective, but from our perspective, we could say be cut off from our support systems, being able to make money and paying bills or and survive in that aspect. It could become very uncomfortable, almost and torturous to people. Do you know? That's where the fear comes in with a lot of people. But that's why when I you say what is the worst thing that could happen, you could die. But if you're not able to pay your bills, then you could be put on the street. And do you get what I'm saying?
And then you will be able to contact other people if you are put on the street. But we are not foreseeing you being in that position because your intention and your work now is so important that you are supported and will be cared for. And we are also very much aware that even when you stop working, you are still able to provide for yourself and sometimes even making more money not working than when you are working because are loved and the intention is on the right path.
Well, I know that has been the truth for me for sure, and I am I feel very blessed in that, and even Lars as well. And we would just like to say we are extremely grateful, and I'm sure you know our hearts already, but I'll just say it verbally out loud. We are very grateful that we are supported in that way and protected. And I hope that any of the other light workers who are listening to this in the ground crew, that they're getting the exact same message, that they should live from a space of joy and doing what they love to do, and of course promoting love on the planet to help with this process. Um,
Whatever will bring you happiness, true happiness into your heart will always be beneficiary for many, many people around you.
and all the people that are suffering on the planet, we know that there's no accidents and that there is no mistakes, but it seems so heinous. There are a lot of people that are really suffering, and how long are they going to have to endure that? I figured what they chose it, but not all of it has to be is chosen, is it?
It can be, but not it is not so in this case. It's there environment trying to control them. But you also have to realize that fewer and fewer people in the world is suffering in the way that they did 10 years ago by starving and so on. It's getting better day by day,
No, very good.
and they are also going to be helped. But there is a way to control by fear or control your physical. If you're not provided with fresh water and food, then your priority will be to get fresh water and food, and then you can't develop, and that's a way to control you also.
Well,
And
I know that California is being inundated right now uh, with some of these weapons that causing a huge drought. And there's a lot, they say a majority of the food in the United States of America is produced there. And I guess are they trying to, they're trying to produce a crisis. How long are we going to allow that to happen? I mean, a lot of people are I know I shouldn't say how long, but it's a true effort when we pray and send positive or hold positive love and energy for California and those type of scenarios. Um,
it will help them be enforced in their struggle. But you have to be aware of that is creating by the elite and the military experimenting with your environment. And that's also a way to control the masses.
well, how much? How I know, and they're being successful at it. In terms of these 6,000 extraterrestrial races and entities that are helping the planet, is there any way that if enough people were to send uh, 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 to ask for help to allow California to have its regular rain cycles and seasons as opposed to being bombarded? How do we stop that? We need help.
To reveal what's going on from the elite side, to reveal what the military is trying to do. When you reveal and put it out to the masses, then it's the thing that they're doing is going to stop because
So
they can't carrying it on anymore because it's by the many that can take over the control for the few, from the few.
well, this is one way by making these videos and presenting this material as one way of getting that information out there. Is that
That's why we are grateful to be able to have this communication with you.
and of course, we are very appreciative of this communication as well. Um,
We know that you are sometimes frustrated by the that it takes so long time to go through these changes. But if you think about how long have the humanity existed, how long has this planet have existed, if you think in that kind of way, you can realize that it's just a blink of an eye.
yes, understood. And thank you very much for uh, for making that statement as well. Um, that's understood. Okay, let's see.
But we also want to say that yes, if many of you ask for help, you are getting help, sure. But it can also take time. It's not just done in a blink of an eye, so to speak, but
Well,
it,
in our linear expression, understood.
yes. So when you destroy something, it takes some time to do that, and it often takes the same time to fix that again. So when you're destroying the planet with uh, pollution in the air, you have done that for 50 to 100 years now, and it can take 50 to 100 years before it's back to normal if nothing is done for changing. But you have to change that now. That was the reason that we showed you this lush valley with a creature traveling through this valley, because you have to return to that level of energy again.
Ah, excellent. So that makes sense then. Is that expression an expression of Lars? Uh, has he existed in that form before? Or is that, I mean, not I say before, but there's no such thing as time. Is that an expression of him in the forever moment of now simultaneously with this expression of him as Lars?
That is one expression of him,
Okay, exactly.
one of many, many, many.
As
As,
Hank,
as you all have on your planet. You have so many expressions of yourself that you can't believe it if you saw it. And Hank, yes, Hank is an entity that has done a lot of work for so many thousands of years, not only on this planet, but in different places all over the universe, and all back to the source.
I know I you know I believe that because every time I do a session, they always say they recognize me or they know me, and then they laugh, which I find amusing. So, wow, amazing, amazing. We are so appreciative, and I know you know how appreciative we are that you'd come through in this way and deliver this message. It's almost like a weight off your shoulder to hear you come through. How is Lars's body doing right now? How's he handling this session?
He's fine and relaxed, but when we higher his frequency, he's always getting up to. But it's no problem.
I just, is there any message, particular message, uh, that you could share right now? You've shared so much, but if you think of, if you focused on this planet right now, and what would, if you could possibly think, what would the population of the planet Earth need to hear right now more than anything? And we know of love and sharing love and spreading love. What message, what other message would you have to help? Or, um, I know you've already given a lot, but
Is there any more important message than be able to love your neighbor? There
no.
is not any more important message, because when you are standing there, you are not separated from anyone. You feel separated, you feel isolated, but you are not. So therefore, when you treat your loved one with love and even your enemy with love, it affects everything. Affect everything. So try to stop thinking of protecting you from something that is not real. Try to start thinking of what can I do to bring this forward, and we can say that is almost only one thing you can do. That is spreading your true inner love to your neighbor.
And what in terms of, what can you speak of, uh, what can you speak of in terms of forgiveness, when it to a forgiveness to the planet?
Is it not that the same thing? When you love, you forgive. When you're forgiven, you can feel love. So when you are wrongdoing, try to change the direction by love doing.
Understood.
So there is no punishment upon you. There is no karma you still need to struggle with. That's not in effect anymore. The only struggle you have is with yourself and your belief. But as we said from the beginning, if you're starting to practice listen to your intuition, then you will never be able to be fooled or deceived or anything anymore.
No, very,
Because you all already have all the knowledge you need, and we are all connected and helping with that.
all right. Well, we'd like to thank you for these incredible messages, and we feel very blessed to have. Did her people develop this technology that you're holding?
Now, it come from somewhere long time ago, but they are. Oh, she says I can travel with it.
Ah, very good. We're going to do some traveling. Let's just get a little more information first, then, please.
Yes,
Does she know what you're doing right now?
she know the intention. Yes,
Does she understand that you're, uh, I say, bilocating from Earth?
yes.
And I want you to inquire about your form, the form that you've taken. Is that the form of the environment that you're in?
No, it's the form from the environment uh, uh, that I came from the beginning.
And what form is that? You say you have four fingers and you're smooth. You're actually wearing garments. Just curious.
I came from a line of technicians that are on a mission to spread knowledge, to help lower densities to get access to this technology.
So this is the device that you're actually working on with Myra. Is this the end? What the product will be?
It's a part of it, yes, but there's much more that I'm not aware of for the moment. But we work in teams. We can be very many in a team working with the same intent and with the same.
And why is she showing you this particular device?
She's showing it to explain for us humans there there is so much more that we don't understand yet, but we are going to get information and knowledge about in the future. They're showing it for education and that we can not be held back by anything if we choose to go forward. And it's totally up to the human race.
Number 9. You're opening the door. And 10. The door is open. The tunnel disappears. And you are now in this environment. Where are you now?
I am standing on a rock or a cliff overseeing a valley, very green and beautiful.
Ah, very nice. Very, very nice.
A big herd of animals moving through the valley.
Huge herd of animals moving through the valley.
Yes.
Excellent. And I want you to just look down at your feet.
Yeah.
And what do your feet look like?
They are very thin and graceful in a way, but I don't have. I'm standing in some kind of light, so I can't really make out the whole of my feet.
So tell me again where you are. Once again, all the way from the beginning. You said a valley, oh, on a rock.
I'm
Just a,
standing on a rock or a cliff or something like that, overseeing a lush valley with animals moving through, big herds of animals.
oh,
It
very.
almost seems like buffalo, but it it ain't buffaloes. It's something else.
And if you say you look down at your feet, and what do your feet look like again?
It looks like I'm barefooted, but I can't really make out of the contours. It looks like I don't have any toes.
Oh, very interesting. And I want you to feel your body or feel, how do you feel?
Very thin, very agile and athletic.
Well, athletic. And look at your hands. What do they look like?
Uh, I have I have only 4 fingers.
Four fingers. And describe your fingers, please.
They are long and thin, and there's only one joint on each finger.
Is it in the very middle? Or
Yeah,
at,
yes, in the middle. They are very long, but I can move them almost like I have more joints than I can see. They are very soft.
oh, very good. And I want, do you have any garments on?
A white robe of some
Uh,
kind.
Very nice. And go ahead and touch your face and just feel, tell me what does it feel like?
I have no facial hair. It's very smooth skin, but also feel like it's been subjected to a lot of sunshine. I
Repeat.
I can it's feel little it's soft but also been under a lot of sunshine. I have no hair. I'm bald.
Very good. And then feel the features of your face. What do they feel like?
I have a very small nose. I have rather thin lips. And my eyes feel a little bigger than normal, but not that big. But I feel I'm not alone here.
Very good. And I want you to go ahead and slowly turn around and see who else may be possibly with you.
Yeah, there's a lady standing there smiling at me.
Very nice. And you say she's a lady. Does she look human?
No, she's very beautiful. Look, more like angelic.
Very nice. And I'd like you to go ahead and greet her then, please.
Yeah, she grabbed my arms. She have same fingers that I have. I reached for her with my hand, but she grabbed my lower part of my arm. It feels very nice.
And she stops you from touching her, or
No,
what's
it's her way of saying hello, greeting me.
very good. And ask her, well, you may ask her, who is she?
She said that you will call her a Pleiadian
Very
or
good.
Pleiadi.
Okay.
She is here to show. Ah, now she helped me to see much better.
Very nice. So what is she showing you? What do you see now?
She's showing that it's so important for us to reconnect with the nature, to spend more time in the nature, and to feel the vibration of the Mother Earth. We need to get closer to the creation, original creation on this planet. We are so much in a, she said cocoon, I don't know, cocoon.
Being inside the house, working with electronic and technical gadgets.
Mhm. She said that it's necessary for you also, but you are you are not connected to the nature in the right way anymore. You need to get out more. Just go out in the forest, feel the energy flowing through everything living, and see the obvious thing that we are all connected. Every living thing is all connected. And it's important for us to go out there and feel that.
Under
Oh,
what else is she presenting to you as well?
she's holding something in her hand. It's like a little sphere or little glass marble or something. I don't can make it out really.
Is she presenting it to you
She's holding it in front of me, yes.
as if she's trying to give it to you to hold or to look at yourself?
She wants me to look into that.
Well, go ahead and take the device and take a look and see what your impression is once you have it.
Oh, I can see other planets in this. And it shows that we are all brothers and sisters. And she say you have to remember that you all came from the same energy, energy place. You're all connected and will always be. Oh, it's lovely. It's like an old universe in there. Oh, and I also see a lot of colors everywhere.
Are the colors inside of what inside the device that you're looking at?
Yeah, but it's also beaming out from it. It's spreading around this gadget, this object. It's
Where
spreading.
while you're holding it, if you could just ask,
Where we want to go. And we are going to get some more technology, but this technology is so different from our technology. It's not made of metal or it's not that kind of machines. It's more that they have programmed they program the energy of that things. They can make they can make stone and wood and anything into useful useful tools for us to use in the future. They're programming its innermost small parts, the quantum parts in everything is programmable.
and this is what you're receiving from Myra that you're working with. Then
She's telling me this, and yes, that's part of it. And
amazing.
I'm working with that every single day, she say. But I'm not alone. There are thousands of from our density in this timeline. They're doing this work. And we are transported from place to place to pick up the original blueprints of how this is done. They're showing us from the beginning and through the development of all of this knowledge. It's been going on for thousands of years, but they condense it for us to be able to understand it.
That's a pretty massive project. Then you were asking before we began what the timeline looks like for the presentation of this type of high advanced technology.
She said, yes, I know that. Yeah. And we are talking about an accelerating rate of knowledge that is going to be accessible for the humans on this planet and elsewhere in this galaxy that are still in a very dense density. So there is a lot of work going on all over this galaxy we live in.
And you said the word was accessible. Then that it would be
It's
accessible.
going to be accessible in a more accelerating rate.
Understood. I just wanted to clarify.
Yes. That is our wish to bring this to you